Do you know, really, if you are a starseed? Only one thing will tell you if you really are a starseed. Hi, my name is Alvia. I go by he, him pronouns, and I'm a star guide, multi-passionate creative, an Andromedan ghostbuster, as well as an energy worker. I wanted to discuss the only one thing that you really need to know in order to determine whether or not you are a starseed. Now, I already did one video discussing what a starseed is, as well as 16 certain signs to know that you are one. But there is one very strong distinction that I have to make that needs to be made also. Because there is a difference between having a starseed experience versus not having one, versus just being an earthling who doesn't know what this is about at all. The main difference is that you do indeed have the experience of feeling like an alien all throughout your life. That way you know that you have had the experience. Felt like you were not of this world. Like you were out of this world, something different. And not just something different, but really just feeling like an alien. Trying to get along with the humans, you know? That is the difference between somebody who really has the starseed experience versus somebody who doesn't. And this experience has, well, most likely it has been consistent in our, for example, in our childhoods. Main thing, because that's when we are the most open to all kinds of different spiritual experiences. And if you had that experience growing up, it is very likely that you are a starseed. And something from my story, for example, I often felt this way. And I had this book about aliens that I was reading. It was like a picture book. I really felt like I didn't belong in the family that I was in. And then I asked my parents if I was adopted, and then like if I was actually an alien child, like if they actually took me from like aliens or something. And they were just like, what the heck? And honestly, I feel like I'm not the only starseed person who feels that way or who has had that experience. But it really is something that stands out to me. And especially, you know, as an Andromedan starseed, somebody who comes from a whole other galaxy, not even in the same galaxy, that is a very common experience. So a lot of this, of course, was suppressed. A lot of this was pushed down by the people around me, and I had to kind of learn how to human, but I was not happy. Not that everything's perfect, but I'm just happier than I have been because I'm embracing my true multidimensional nature here. And I'm doing exactly what my soul was meant to be doing here. I understood that I have to embrace this multidimensional part of myself. As soon as I found out about what a starseed is, something kind of clicked. Something really fell into place. It wasn't until I really owned it that I felt most comfortable within myself. And of course there were still a lot of other things that I had to figure out for when it comes to being a human. For example, understanding that I'm also transgender. That was a big piece of the puzzle. But it's also a common understanding that starseeds do come to disrupt the script and the cycles. That's not our only mission. I think it's boring to think that there's just one mission for Starseed. There's a lot for us, a lot more for us than just one mission or just one life path or purpose. There's a lot more. But you might imagine that when an extraterrestrial soul enters into a family that has been run by scripts, or a community that has been run by scripts, there starts to be a disruption of those cycles and scripts, and something new is being born. And we no longer have this monotony. So in that way, we can understand that there is a reason why we do incarnate here. A lot of these different scripts and programs, conditioning, shadow, all of that, this has to be cleared until we can really embrace our true starseed nature. I had to do a lot of that. I did so much shadow work when I got on the spiritual path because I had to. Inevitable. Couldn't really go further, without doing it. Here's the thing, we do all have to do our shadow work, whether or not we identify as light workers or not. So I'm just gonna let you know that's a thing that we have to do. And a misunderstanding that is common made. And I actually do this in my mentorship with yours truly, that gets us into, first of all, letting go and just clearing and cleansing those type of shadow things that may still be lingering in our energy fields. Doing all kinds of soul retrieval, energy work, cool stuff, cool stuff like that. And all of these are, by the way, they are tailored to each individual, because I will, in the first session, we're kind of getting to know what your situation is for when it comes to this starseed embodiment and starseed experience. Then we go into all kinds of different exercises. We connect with your star family, we connect with your soul origin, we go in on a real deep dive. There's whole one session for that. We do all kinds of multidimensional exercises along the way in order to really come to your true starseed glory and not having to compromise it while living on this planet. And this is for those that already know that they are a starseed, that already know that this is totally for them. You already know, after having this experience, you kind of want to go deeper, but maybe you don't have as many tools as you could have in order to really find the comfort and ease at being your starseed self. And maybe you still kind of live one foot in, one foot in the other, for when it comes to being your starseed self versus the earthly self, I guess. So we're just gonna incorporate and integrate your starseed self in a brand new way, in a very beautiful way, and you don't have to make those compromises anymore. And if this is something that you are interested, hit me up at contact@inspiringalien.com. I will put it on the screen here. It will also be down in the description box below, and I'm happy to give you more information. And there's also a whole video where I explain this whole mentorship a little bit more in depth, so I'll be sure to link that down below and you can check it out there. That's all for today. Again, my name is Alvia, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm happy to have had you here. If you want to support the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe for more videos like this. Stay inspiring.